Hey guys, I'm the Storyteller, and today we're doing a brand new series in the Mythos of the MythCast. Today we are introducing a brand new show with new themes, new stuff, and it's called the Myth Table. It's going to be an interview-themed show, and we don't have to be stuck in the ways that we have before with introducing stuff like you have to watch a show and do this. This is just you sit back every once in a while and you just and you watch a show. It's going to be a little more philosophy themed depending on the guest. Today we have our returning guest is actually his first time on camera for the show, Elijah De Jesus.
Yeah.
You actually do have your own little thing. You don't have a podcast like me, but it's Pastors Talk.
Well, I haven't done it in a little bit just because I've been under a little bit of I guess you could say, like last time we talked, rebrand, kind of planning what I want to go forward with, like how I want to do it going forward. But I do plan to like relaunch soon. But yes, I had you could say like I don't want to say show, but it was like a programming on Facebook, Pastors Could Talk, and I do some little contents on Instagram. I actually have some videos that I did that I'm gonna post soon. But I haven't
Well, I
posted
mean, hey, if you ever need help expanding to more of a YouTube, Spotify kind of thing, you talk to, have a close friend.
You the guy.
I'm the guy for you. No, you're not. I'm the guy you come to talk to about that.
The rephrase is hilarious.
Before we talk about superheroes, I have one question to start off everything.
Yes.
What does faith mean to you?
Wow. Faith to me, it means. Okay, so I feel like faith, as far as it depends on what we're looking at as the word. Because to me, right, and I'm a Christian, obviously, but or not obviously, because you may not know, but I'm a Christian. I believe in the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and faith to me, the word faith, as the Bible describes it, is, I'm gonna paraphrase. Essentially, it's basically the hope for things not seen, and so there's an exact phrase, but I just can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe don't crucify me, don't sue me, but not joking. But, to me, faith is really grounding, like my faith in God specifically. It's just how do I say this? I don't know. I guess it's like I feel like for me, faith is something that keeps me grounded. It's something that motivates me. Something that it's a safe place for me, and it's a safe place not because it's not like a delusional world where everything is perfect. For me, faith is so important to me because I think that like the essence of having faith is that it really should function at most when things are not going peachy. Like, my walk with God is really not supposed to be all peaches and cream. And I think that's what I love the most about it is, my walk with God is my walk with God in every season. You know what I'm saying? So I guess faith is really grounding for me. It's a safe space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that I was gonna say I understand where you're coming from. And honestly, kind of the same thing for me, but I'm still on like the beginning half of like a faith because I'm a Christian as well. I just am not as into everything as someone like Elijah, right? And that's why I brought him in onto the show specifically for that first episode of the Myth Table, because I just feel like having such a switch in tone compared to my main show is very good, because it can show how we're not only superheroes.
Right.
We're not only a superhero show. So that's why I feel like it's a really good first episode. And obviously it's like an interview style show, so as you guys will undoubtedly understand, I'm going to be asking him a lot of questions.
Right.
But yeah, no, so I personally am still on like the beginning half of mine, and I would love to learn more. It's just my issue with church and stuff is like it's always been a little hard for me to get into church because I feel like we kept moving around. Church, like me and my family, we just kept going from church.
Yeah.
And I feel like every time I was listening, everything was just a little different every time.
I see.
It was kind of hard to attach myself to one style of Christianity.
Yeah.
Like I was baptized in a Catholic church.
Yeah.
When I was little, which would technically mean I'm a Catholic.
Right.
But like I've never went to a Catholic service.
Yeah, me neither.
I've always gone to. That's not the things. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I would always say if someone asked me, I'm like non-denominational. That's
exactly. That's what I say all the time too. I'm not Pentecostal. I'm not apostolic.
Well, mainly because I don't know yet. I need to have my own little walk with God.
Yeah.
Like you say. I actually have like 4 Bibles and I've not touched a single one.
Should open them. I say you should open them.
Yeah, I ain't doing that right now.
Is that a Bible right there?
Which one? That one?
No, the black book right there with the pages, the silver one. You must be blind. That's a Bible?
I have my glasses on. Wow. Yeah, that is a Bible.
Oh, that's nice. I like the pages.
Yeah, it is really fancy.
I like the ones that have like gold or silver pages on the outside. If you looking good.
All right. My second question.
Yes.
Why do you think so many superhero stories include themes like hope, sacrifice, forgiveness, and redemption?
So I feel that a lot of times, I think the reason why a lot of superhero stories, like or the comics, for example, right? Because when we look, obviously, superheroes, I would say the foundation is the comic books, and then we have the shows and the movies and everything else. So I think that the reason why, we see a lot of stories with those common themes, I think it's because, like many things, I think like reading in general, like even TV shows now, they're almost a form to escape, and also because like I think that in our world sometimes we don't always see those themes always constantly present. Like sometimes we don't see redemption, or some people feel like they're beyond redemption. I think that it can be like also a life lesson for us, and I think especially being that a lot of younger people are into, obviously as people get older they still love them, right? But a lot of times their love for superheroes starts at a young age, which a lot of times I think show like it encourages children and youth, and as they go into their adulthood, to like feel like they can do anything like that they put their mind to.
Yeah.
As like cliche as it sounds, but I do feel like it empowers people. So I think that's why a lot of times they use those themes. And also because it's reality, we go through ups and downs, and so moments of desperation or despair can easily become moments where, or there can be moments where there's desperation and despair, and there's a hope there that if we continue to focus on that hope, like many things can change. You know what I'm saying? So I think those are a couple reasons why we see those themes in comic books
And
or in superheroes.
yeah, in superhero media in general, or even just regular media. It isn't, it's not always superheroes, because there is always a sense of hope in a story that doesn't revolve around a person wearing a cape.
Exactly.
It's not all about that, but every now and again, it's a little different. Right. There's some shows like, or even like The Punisher. His whole thing is he doesn't want to be redeemed.
Right.
He just wants revenge.
Right.
But can someone be a great hero without believing in something bigger than themselves? Like what do you think about that? Because if I were to think, I think most of the time it is about being bigger than themselves, but there is always like that one character who doesn't believe in that. So what do you think?
I think it's really for a lot of heroes, I think it is important that they have that, because I feel like for a lot of them it's a way for them to not get lost in the tragedy that comes with whatever it is that they're doing. I also think it's a deeper motivation, like okay, and for example, even me with my walk with God, I've understood my individuality in the sense that like this is for me and God, but then on the other hand, I've understood that there are certain things I want to break in my life, right? So my children don't have to deal with that, right? And so I would look at it in that same concept, that is kind of like one of a big motivation for me, because that's like a bigger theme, right? The bigger picture. So I think for a lot of people, a lot of the heroes, it's important that they have that, because it helps them to not get so focused on, like, for example, just revenge, because they know that there's other things that are important, there's other things at stake. So like I feel like that's why it's important that they have that. Like I think it's imperative that they have that. Like even if it's not a faith in a being, a person, or a religion, like for example, even if their goal is just to help people, that is something bigger than yourself that will motivate you. You know what I'm saying? Like when we looked at in the show The Flash, I remember when I was rewatching, and they were saying they wanted originally the Flash to like go round up all the metahumans that had gotten affected, but then as time went on, he said he doesn't just want to do that, he wanted to help people, he wanted to stop things from happening, like in the beginning, of course. So I think that that's like, for example, a moment where you see something bigger than himself kind of arise, and it motivates him to continue going,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So in your eyes, you do believe that superheroes need to have something bigger to kind of ground them?
I think so. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think it's easier when you have something bigger than yourself grounding you. I think in general, like it's easier to manage.
Because I feel like if you're doing it just for yourself, isn't it almost like selfish?
Exactly, it's selfish, and that's why like the show The Boys. A lot of those people are not really like good. The heroes are not good people. You know what I mean? And they do some really bad things. Some don't even kill people, but they're heroes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why you need that. You know?
Yeah, and then even sometimes, like, let's take My Hero Academia, the show. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've heard of it.
That whole show is they're superheroes, right?
Yeah.
But they go to school for it and they become licensed heroes.
Right.
Like you have to be, it's a job.
That's so interesting.
So a lot of the time, the heroes they don't go to save the person that actually needs help. They go to the person that'll give them the most likes, make them more popular, because there's a ranking system.
Right.
And we're back. So I was bringing up a point before, a little interruption, that on the heroes in there, a lot of the time they don't go for the jobs that genuinely save more lives. They go for the job that can give them more clicks, make them more famous. There's even another Chinese anime or Chinese cartoon, not Japanese, and I never watched it. But the whole point is like your powers are based on what people believe. Like if people think you're God level, you will suddenly have that. So it's all about perception and reality. But yeah, so that's and even that goes into my next point. Do superheroes need faith, or is faith what helps them, or helps what makes heroes?
I think faith is what helps make heroes, because I think a lot of people, I think it would be easy to so when we look at the Avengers, and many times we see eventually they get to a place where the government doesn't want them even working anymore because they're destructive, right? Which, I mean, I can't say quotations because they do kind of mess up a lot. Like, sometimes it's unnecessary. You know, the stuff that they do, you know what I mean? Like, there's no need to smash, 2 different cars for no reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it happens, whatever. But I think faith is important to make heroes because, it's similar to, a content creator. You can have, you are kind of made up by the people that you encourage. You know what I mean? It's so I feel that when you are doing something and that, where there's attention on you, a lot of times it's better. Faith is a part of it because they are believing and trusting in you. For example, if you're gonna tell me your product, I'm trusting you to recommend me the right thing. So I think faith is really kind of what makes the concept of heroes, because a lot of people see a hero and be like, wow, okay, so I can be safe. This person will cover me. This person will protect me. You know what I mean? It gives people a sense of hope, and that's why I think faith. And so even in moments where things get really dark and disturbing and difficult, the heroes, the whole point of it is having faith that they will come and swoop you up.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I see what you're saying. I do personally, listening to what you're saying. Because beforehand I didn't believe that superheroes needed faith to be a hero, but maybe the faith that they need is not faith in a higher power, but faith that they can go out and save the person. It's not always, oh, God told me to do it.
Right, exactly.
It's just like the people have faith in me.
Exactly.
Like for example, let's I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's take Spider-Man. The people in New York, they believe that he will come and save them.
Right.
Batman, people believe that he will come and save them. They put that signal up, like the bat signal, as a sense of, that's pretty much like like how someone would pray to God to help them out. Like they're putting that signal out for help.
Exactly.
And so they're putting their faith in a hero. And so maybe sometimes they don't the hero themselves doesn't have faith, but I think the concept of a hero represents faith in and of itself.
Exactly. I would agree with that.
Because if we take the MythCast, my main show, right? We view everything in the lens of a modern mythology. Yeah. Okay. We view comic books as the same stories as if back in the day when someone's hearing how Zeus had 13 wives in one day, Yeah. And if you see it in that way, almost you could think of superheroes as modern gods.
Right.
And it's a very interesting take because these are just regular people most of the time. Exactly. Obviously they might have god level powers and stuff, but
which is a good point. Yeah.
But what superheroes best represent faith? And when I say faith, not necessarily meaning religion, but faith itself. I already brought a few options, but what do you think?
Well, I feel like the word faith can be defined in so many different ways and can be used in so many different ways. So I feel like as far as faith in one sense, I feel like Superman is a really big. I feel like that's one of the most basic ones that you can say represented faith for a lot of people, in the sense that they believed that this guy was, not that he was extraordinary and he had amazing abilities, right? But they believed that he would, protect the city. Like a lot of times the heroes of their city are named the heroes of that city, specific city. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Spider-Man is like, about the neighborhood Spider-Man, whatever. I'm not
friendly
using
neighborhood
exact words,
Spider-Man,
exactly friendly, whatever. Right. So, but because like that, like he is from New York, so I just feel no joking. So I just feel like a lot of times, like, the city's putting their faith in that person, or like even when, like, even like for example when, huh? Oh, even when, for example, like, people who might get a key to the city, for example, like if a superhero gets a key to the city, why? It's because the city trusts them to do that. So I think that as far as like Spider-Man's a good example. I would say they represent faith. Like I said, Superman, I think that's a good one. I mean, I think Batman can represent a certain sense of faith, but I also feel like in a city like that, for example, like they also have people that, because they would consider him more so like a vigilante, I would assume, like when those things happen at first, I believe they would consider those people like, vigilantes kind of. So I feel like especially Batman, he has no powers, you know what I'm saying, he has nothing really of value. And no, I'm joking, but not later on. So I just, that's how I feel. Yeah. But like represent faith in a different way, like what is it, Nightcrawler? I think his name. I don't want to try to pronounce it. Yeah, Nightcrawler. He I would say he's also a good example of faith.
Yeah, because he is a devout. Honestly, he represents faith the same way I think Daredevil represents faith.
Right.
Because they're both devout Catholics.
Right.
And they both represent like all that stuff around them, but they also have a sense of evilness to them because they both almost represent like the devil. And they do it in two different ways, right? Let's take Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler represents the devil because he physically looks like one. Yeah. And his entire life he was treated as one. And so the fact that he's able to keep up his faith in God, even though people are forcefully pushing him down, like if we were talking about last episode, how mutants are treating so badly because of something different. He is a mutant. He is not a human. He is different from humans, but he should still be treated like one.
Right.
And then it just makes it even worse because he physically looks like a demon. And so since he's treated with so much pain, you would think that he would give up his faith.
Right.
But no, he actually doubled down on it. And sure, it takes a certain level of like, I'm just going to do my own thing to be a hero like that. But still, and to go on to Daredevil, Daredevil has literally met gods, So because Daredevil has literally met gods like Thor, why do you think he still remains Catholic?
I think it's because like when we're talking about faith being something that grounds, that's why I feel like he would still be Catholic, because I think that when you, like, I think in a world like that, right, in this whole superhero world, it's kind of like Riverdale in the sense that like, it's like you start off like, like for example, we have basic superheroes that could be an alien, and then we start, obviously like Wonder Woman, she's technically a demigod, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, as you go in deeper in like the whole superheroes and everything, it gets wilder. And so I feel that even in the midst of the wild, because his faith is something that's like a staple for him, that grounds him, that keeps him like for example, when we look at Nightcrawler, for example, and Magneto, which are two different mutants, you have one that because of him being treated differently, he takes a different approach than Nightcrawler would, right? Because he has allowed his faith, Nightcrawler, for example, to teach him these good values, to keep him grounded and remaining like instilling in who he is. So I feel like that's why even when there's gods present, I think the presence of a god doesn't negate the presence of my faith, you know what I mean, or the power of my faith. And then beyond that, I think another reason is because some of the gods in these universes, or like in the DC universe, Marvel universe, some of them can die, some of them can be killed, some of them are like, it's like I think that's why, like, it's like your presence doesn't negate what my faith does for me. You know what I mean?
And because I have a few more questions about Daredevil, but there's something you brought up that I feel like is a really good thing that we can continue on. You brought up Magneto. Yeah. And Magneto, I believe, is a great example of the opposite spectrum of what we're having. Because our main conversation is how can heroes keep their faith even though they go through all this stuff and meeting gods and all this stuff and all this hardship. I feel like Magneto is such a good opposite to that. and a good antagonist to the topic we're bringing up because he was raised Jewish, you know, and he was in the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And so that level of hatred, I mean, personally, I don't really read that many Magneto comics, but I would think that would like be like some type of like a source of trauma for him,
Right.
you know? And obviously it is because of that, he was treated bad, even though he was still, in their minds, they thought he was a human. He was still treated evil. But when they found out that he was also a mutant on top of that, the amount of hatred that he felt, in his mind, he was thinking, imagine what they can do to humans if, imagine what they were doing to humans, right? And now take that and imagine what they could do to mutants.
Exactly.
And so that's why I feel like he has that hatred towards humans.
Yeah.
Because if they can treat their own self so badly,
Right.
imagine what they could do to someone they find not human.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I do think Magneto and Nightcrawler, or Magneto and Daredevil, are very opposite spectrums.
Exactly. Yeah.
Coming from a very similar religions.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's such a interesting thing. But going back to Daredevil, my next question is Matt Murdock's Daredevil greatest strength his abilities or his faith?
I'd have to say his faith again, because I think that, like, at the end of the day, like, there is moments, right? There have been moments where some superheroes, because of whatever reason, have decided to put down, like, they may still have their powers, but they have decided to kind of relinquish their position in what they were doing. Like, they've decided to give it up, or sometimes were forced to give it up. And so I think that it would be the faith, because when he doesn't use his powers, his faith is a core part of who he is. You know what I mean? So I feel that, like, you know, even in moments where he, you know, if, let's say, between the abilities and the faith, I think his faith would be the thing that grounds him. You know what I mean? Because, like, if he didn't have abilities, he would still have his faith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he's always been a Catholic at heart.
Yeah.
How does Daredevil's faith stop him from becoming someone like Punisher, someone who has nothing in his life and is just there for revenge?
Well, I think that, you know, it comes to, like, the principles that faith teaches us, you know. And, like, for example, he's a Catholic, you know, obviously Catholic or Catholicism. Sorry, I have like a little like brain spasm there. Catholicism and Christianity are not the same thing, of course, but like many faiths, right, and many religions teach similar subjects, which is like, you know, forgiveness and things of that nature. I think that, like, those kind of core values, and also I think faith helps you to see that you're not as perfect as you may think you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really big point, is like, when I'm able to recognize that I have flaws, it makes it easier for me to not want to go after everybody from a place of hatred, because I understand that if I hate them because of something they did, I would have to hate myself. And obviously that doesn't mean that you just let people do things and go unscathed. Of course, yes, you confront things, you can bring it up and whatever, what have you, but you don't become them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you understand that, like, you could easily feel the same way the same way you feel about them, you could feel about yourself.
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
think, like for example, when he go, like, a lot of Catholics do the confession. So when you go to confess, it's because you feel guilty, you feel convicted because of something, a sin you committed, right? So I think that, like, that's why that's why I say that, because I feel like it's that's what stops him from causing him to become a person where he's just after revenge, because, you know, you kind of gotta, like, look at yourself in those predicaments too, you know.
And correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Catholicism the one where they believe that they have a way to not ever sin? Is that Catholicism, or is that another thing? Because I've seen somewhere with, like, oh, I've never sinned in my life, and I don't want to say if that's Catholic or not without confirming.
I don't know for sure. I don't know. Like, I know of Catholicism, but you know, I don't know, like so much. It's possible, but it's possible, but I don't know.
Okay, so I was gonna bring up a point, but I don't want to, you know, spread stuff if I
not get canceled. Cancel him. Clip this right now, guys.
Let's take a different route. Let's take Spider-Man. Right, Spider-Man isn't very known to be a religious character. Right, but how do you think Spider-Man, who isn't known to be a religious character, how does he still reflect Christian values, for example?
I would say, like the famous phrase, "With great power comes great responsibility." I think that phrase is, you know, it can be used, obviously, you know, it's a phrase that can be used to apply itself to self-control, because right, you can have a great power, but if you have no responsibility with that power, it can become reckless and endanger other people. You know what I mean? Like even when we look at like Wanda, you know what I mean? Like her power is so strong, but it can be so destructive. You know what I mean? So it's like I think that kind of embodies a Christian value, which is self-control. Being able to deny oneself and like things that selfishly we may want to do. Like for example, in the most recent like movie, he needed to, for the sake of you know everything, he needed to kind of like make it so that way they would forget him, right?
Yeah.
And he did that, and that's what happened. And he chose to do that. He walked away from his life. He walked away from his future because of that decision, and he did it, and he stood firm in it. So I think that's also, I think, right, I maybe unpopular, but I think like for me personally, I believe a real Christian value is accountability as well. And I think that he also, especially being a young person, has had to take accountability for the stupid things he's done.
And that actually is funny that you brought up the quote, because it's actually my next question that I had to. It was with great power come great responsibility feel like just a superhero quote or a Bible principle? And I think you were bringing up a little bit of that, but like, what do you think?
I would definitely say a Bible principle, because like when we look in the Bible, there's a story about King Saul. God gave him an instruction and said to him, you're going to go into this town and you're going to and I'm gonna say it, I don't want to hear nobody, because people be like, oh my god, he said this. Yes, he did. He said, go into that town and you're gonna take out everybody, okay, even the animals. And Saul, partially because to please the people and because it's a good thing, he said, oh well, I'm gonna spare the animals, I think, and the women and the children. And a prophet came to him and said to him, essentially, because of his disobedience, he had to be removed from the kingship, right? So that's a moment where you have a great power and a great role, but because of your lack of responsibility with said role, and you want to do what you think is best, then you go ahead and you got yourself taken out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Okay. And let's go a little back to earlier what you mentioned, another superhero. Let's say Superman, right?
Yeah.
Superman has often been compared to someone like Jesus, right? No, because
slow down. No,
I personally don't believe that. I'm just going like from what I did.
Savannah, slow down.
No, because if you think about it, he is a overpowerful being who came from another world, who was put there by his father at a young age to try to save the world.
I never thought about it like that.
I mean, but if you think about it,
it's true. I never thought about it like that. It's very similar. Wow.
Why do you think the writers continue to use that symbolism? And do you think that's what they meant to do?
I have no idea. No, not joking. I'm sure that they meant to do it, because I think that I think a lot of people draw inspiration from stories like the story of Jesus and stuff like that. Like, not to bring a Riverdale, but to bring a Riverdale. Like, even now, it's so stupid. But, I'm on season 6. And Cheryl's mother has started, which is, I can't stand it. I think it's really stupid and a little bit borderline, like, disrespectful. But Cheryl's mom has started a church for Jason. And she's like, and then Cheryl, it was competing, and now Cheryl took control of the church. Anyway, so Cheryl was like, oh, Jason has given me the ability to turn water, as Jesus turned water into wine, water into maple syrup. When I seen that, I said,
what?
I said, hold up. But it's really like, it's borderline like ridiculous. But the whole point is that they've taken inspiration, obviously, from the story of Jesus. Like Penelope says, like, Jason died for the sins of this town, which is ridiculous. But anyway, and his blood will save us. I was like, okay,
all right, they don't too much.
Yeah, facts. So, but anyway, the whole thing is, I think a lot of people commonly take inspiration out from the story, because I think it's a story. It's a beautiful story. It's a story of hope and and also sacrifice. Because I think as a hero, you sacrifice a lot. Yeah, you sacrifice your personal life. A lot. So.
Yeah, and so continue with Superman. What makes Superman such a symbol of hope?
I would say, his aesthetic. No, I'm joking. I would say the way, I guess, his his attitude towards things. Like his goal is really like to use his powers for good. So I think that like him doing that, obviously nobody's perfect, but I think that like I think a lot of times these heroes emerge in a time when the city, for example, has never seen something like that, and so a person that has these extraordinary abilities coming and protecting the people of that town, I think that automatically a lot of people automatically like idolize that. Like even when we look at like the way just we are as humans, like when we see a celebrity and a celebrity does a good thing, or an influencer, they get viral, automatically people are just following them, right? And they look at them for a symbol of whether it be hope, whether it be a symbol of inspiration, whether it be like if I go out right now and I say, let's say I'm a real estate agent, I'm making millions of dollars, and I go on TikTok right now, I'm gonna teach you how to do it. Like that, immediately people are gonna flock to that because it's a sign of inspiration for them. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
So it's like I think that that's just how we are wired. You know what I mean? And to a point that I've heard someone make before, it's like we were made to, I guess you say, like as Christians, right? We believe we were made to worship, right? So in a sense, I think that people may say, oh, they don't, believe that, and that's okay. But I think that you see that though in a lot of the way we react with influencers, celebrities. We kind of like immediately idolize people, which shows kind of our instant reflex to want to look for something that symbolizes something special for us.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
That was a yap salad.
No, but you're making some valid points, and that's the reason why I brought you on the show, because I did feel like you were probably the best person to have this type of conversation with, and I'm not gonna say because I have nobody else, because I said that earlier.
Yeah, you did say that, so I kind of felt like I was like, in other words, like I have nobody else. So
no, but I actually do feel like you were probably the best person. I feel like because I know a lot of people who would have that I could have a really good conversation with. It's just because you're such close in age to me that it's a different conversation, right? If I were to bring in, I just don't want to say their names. If I were to bring in them, it would feel like a different energy.
Right.
It'll still be the same conversation. I just feel different.
Because we can relate to each other.
Exactly. Since we're, such close in age. 3 years apart.
Right. We're 3 years apart?
Yeah, we're 3 years apart.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Still?
Yes.
I forgot. Like, I know we discussed this already, but I'm like...
You're actually, me and you are the same age gap as me and my brother, and he's 14.
Oh my gosh.
Which means you were 18 when I was 14.
That sucks. 20 years.
Oh yeah, you're 20. Damn.
I'm gonna head out.
Damn, bro, you're like a grown adult.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, that's crazy.
Not too much on the grown part.
So let's go for Superman. Let's go on the opposite side of that same coin. Batman. Batman doesn't openly. Batman doesn't. Wait, what? Bro, chill. Batman's the goat. Batman doesn't openly talk about religion ever. He is the representation of darkness. I'm so emo. So what keeps him fighting?
I would say trauma.
I mean, yeah, that's a real question.
Like, his parents died in front of him, and he wasn't able to do anything about it. So now he's in a position where he can do something about it for others, and that's like kind of his life's work, which I would ask for, like, if he was real. I'm saying, like, if he was, like, if I could, like, talk to him, I would want to ask, is this really fulfilling for him, or does he feel like he's chasing after fulfillment, or chasing after, like, a sense of satisfaction that he will never get? But I think that it's a good thing. But it could also be a bad thing because he may be doing that to run away from healing from his trauma. Yeah. Because his overall aura, I'm joking. I feel like just when we think about Batman, we think of darkness and deep voice and
and like 300 kids. Like,
exactly.
He has a lot of kids.
Yeah.
But I personally think
Damian Wayne
was his only actual son.
The best.
No, don't even. You don't even know what you're talking about.
I know. Oh no.
I personally think that what drives him is not faith, but necessarily justice.
Right. Exactly.
That's his grounding. Yes. He believes justice was not served for his family, so he's going to be the force of justice. Right.
Which can be dangerous.
For me, I personally think that he's driven by justice.
Yeah, I agree.
But do you believe that he's either driven by justice, or do you think he's driven by a internal faith in humanity?
I think that I think that I would say definitely driven by justice, just because justice was not done. Like, he feel that he probably didn't get justice for his family, so of course I would say justice. But I also think that maybe him doing the crime fighting is for himself a sense of like a light for humanity, and maybe that's what he wants to be for others, to show people that there's someone watching, there's someone, like, they're still good, you know what I mean?
I get
So
it.
I think, like, within all his emotional turmoil, I think that because he reminds me of like a moody teenager type of thing, like,
He is very,
I feel
very
like
moody.
within all his turmoil, I think maybe he also wants to reflect that, and maybe him doing this for himself reflects a sense of like, hope for humanity and all that.
Definitely that. He's definitely trying to find some type of hope, but I do think that he leans more on justice, and he doesn't really have much hope in humanity. But some people might even consider him a symbol of hope, you know. But let's take a step back, right? A big step back. Let's zoom out.
On what?
In a universe where gods like Thor exist, what separates a god from God?
Well, I feel that I was reading about this, and like, when I was doing kind of preparing for today, and I think what separates the two is Thor is not right. These gods, many of them are not really creators of, right, we can call them creators of the whole entire universe. A lot of them, they represent things. They're god of blink, god of. When we think about God, a lot of times, I would say the names go before. Like, a lot of times people say, the Almighty God, the Creator, blah 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 blah. So, like, I think that there's a difference between a God and God, because I think that, like, they did not. The premise of who God is, when we look in the Bible, is someone who created it all, who knows it all, and a lot of these characters don't know it all, make mistakes, right? Like, they still have very much human sides to them. They go through human tribulations and everything, and
they're necessarily just like aliens if you think about it.
Exactly. But then, like, they are not like the ultimate, if you want to say, you know what I mean? Like,
there is definitely levels, especially in Marvel. Like, we have the base gods like Thor. Then we have like Eternals.
Right.
Then we have Celestials, which actually created universes.
Right.
Right. And then we have the one above all.
Right.
He is the top honcho.
Now, who is the one above all? Because I don't know much about that.
The one above all.
I didn't watch the Eternals.
No, he wasn't in the Eternals.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, after the Eternals, I didn't know nothing about no Celestials.
Oh, so after
I don't think many people watch the Eternals.
No, not really. The Eternals, think they're like biological robots created by the Celestials.
Oh yeah. No.
They're not actually robots, but they were like physically like
AI.
Yeah, they're just like super advanced AI. So the Celestials are what the world would consider like the gods of the universe.
Okay.
Right? But there's a step above them. The one above all.
Who is that?
He is the ultimate final creator of the Marvel universe.
Stan Lee? What's up?
No, then they have the writer. Those are two different people. The writer is like considered Stan Lee, Steve
like
Ditko.
Riverdale all over again. No, I'm joking.
And I guess you can say the writer is above the one above all, but I never want to say that, because if we're talking about in universe only, right? In universe, the one above all is the one who created the multiverse. He created the Celestials, who created everything else. He is the one who created it all.
So the one above all is basically Tony Stark. No, I'm joking. I
was gonna say though, is God. Like
the whole time he's Nick Fury.
Oh my God. Like, the one above all is supposed to represent like God, like the final. And he created everything. Right. And so that's like his representation. But it's like a hierarchy, right? But does having proof of power doesn't
It's okay.
Does having proof of powerful beings make faith easier or harder?
I think that it can make it harder, right? But I think it's not impossible. But it can definitely make it harder because, like I said, you're like, for someone whose faith is all in one thing, then when you see like there's other things out there, like in that universe, right? If I'm like a devout Christian and then sorry, I said that wrong. and then I'm like meeting Thor and Wonder Woman, because in the same universe. Not joking, I know they're not. So like, like I'm meeting these gods and all this other stuff, and I'm hearing about all these other things and seeing people do magic and everything. Like that may throw me off a bit, and for some people that may stop them from their faith, depending on what they believe in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like Miss Marvel, like the little one, she's Muslim, you know what I'm saying, and she she be up in the mosques and everything, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, but it's like she's still doing her thing, even though like we know there's a lot. She knows that there's other stuff out there,
Yeah.
So I think it's possible. It just might 6-7. It might be harder.
All right. Cut that. No, but like, let's say, like I was telling you earlier when I was pitching this episode to you,
Right.
when I said how is Daredevil a Catholic when he's met Thor? You know, that's why I think that you're trying to get with that, because I believe Daredevil is the most the best to represent this entire topic of today, because not only has he met Thor, he has became God. Like he had the power of creation, and when he lost it, he still believed in the higher power. So he is like the perfect representation of, it doesn't matter what you've been through, it's about the faith inside of you.
Right. And
So yeah.
And I think it's also grounding, because when we look at, so now to switch over a little bit, when we look at like Percy Jackson, a lot of those gods, they do whatever they want because they feel invincible, and they they can do whatever the hell they want to do. And I think that having a faith helps you keep you grounded. So even if you do become, it's the same thing like with money. Even if I do get really rich, I'm never going to become a person that's arrogant and cocky and switching up on my day ones. I mean, I might, not. But no,
I see how it is.
So the only way I will switch up my day ones is giving them money. You know what I'm saying? No joking. But so get ready, bro. I'm joking. But I'm saying, like, if I were to be rich and I need to stay grounded in my faith, I can't forget that, because then I might become reckless. Like a lot of gods, like when we look in, for example, like a Percy Jackson, they come down and they start sleeping with people. You know what I'm saying? Making babies everywhere. You got one house full of like 16 different kids, and this is the house of blank.
Like, bro, imagine going to camp one day and you find you have 17 brothers. Like,
that's
damn.
Insane.
Like, you're like, oh, my first day of camp. Oh, hey, bro, I'm your brother. What?
Yo, speaking when I started watching Percy Jackson season 2.
Oh, and yeah, we actually covered season 2 on the show.
When I found out that Cyclops was his brother, I had no words. I was completely like, my teeth fell out. I was just like, my jaw was on the ground.
How far did you get into season 2?
Not that far.
Okay.
I'm at the part. Last part. I think Grover and like him and it was not, for lack of better words, I thought it was cute when him and Percy had that like moment where
they can see each other.
Yeah,
in the dreams?
that was so. I love that.
Well, I'm gonna say something about that. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
He says that, and then he'll go ahead and spoil it.
The creature that kidnapped Grover in the first episode.
There he goes.
Well, you watched the first episode.
No, really, I know you're onto something.
No. They don't say it in the show.
Yeah,
like at all. That's also Poseidon's son, in the mythology.
Why?
Because he had he had a kid. Like, but it doesn't say that in the show. Like, they don't say, "Oh, it's my brother."
It's too much.
Yeah, no. So the name of that creature and like the way he looks is Poseidon's son. He's a Cyclops.
Oh Lord.
They took that inspiration to create Percy's brother. So even though it's such a weird concept, like
they're not drained. The guys don't get drained. Like they don't get dry.
I guess not.
No more juice.
I mean, obviously not. Obviously not, because most of the gods up there are just the kids of Zeus. So
insane. Yeah,
it's bad. And then like for example, there's so many kids up there of Zeus that a lot of the times that people are marrying their niece. Like let's take Hades for example. He is married to Persephone. That's his niece. That's Zeus's daughter. His brother's daughter. And they're like genuine, like they're married.
That's terrible.
I mean, there ain't a lot of options up there.
Do you ship Percy and Annabeth?
Do I ship Percy and Annabeth?
Yes.
Of course I ship Percy and Annabeth.
That took too long. I'm not sure who the boy that she was dreaming about, because she wasn't dreaming about him, I think, right?
The boy she was dreaming about, bro. Did you not finish season 1?
Is that Percy?
No, it's not Percy. It looks like a different guy, right?
Yeah.
He's the son of Hermes. He's like the big bad of season 1 and season 2.
Because when we got to season 2, the old ladies was like, "Oh, the boy you've been dreaming with," and then Percy was like, his neck broke.
Yeah, like, I mean, I would too. I'd be like, whoa, because they have like a thing. They have a thing going on. There's a lot of energy, and the thing is, they're not supposed to have that until like season 4. So they're starting early.
I want them together so bad.
I think they might have
officially dating though, right?
In the show?
Yeah.
No, that's like they start liking each other like season 4. Like they're setting the seeds now, but like it's not supposed to be there yet. I don't think the show got renewed yet. for season 4.
That's why you gotta be careful.
Gotta-
God willing, it got renewed. So that means season 3 they still not
No.
together. Oh nah, bro.
They don't.
Burn.
They don't get.
hates to see
I don't
that.
think they get together till like the last book, like 100%. And I do know that Percy gives up his godhood. Like they offer him a seat on the council for her. Like he says I don't
So
want to.
he stops using his powers. He can't.
No, he's a demigod still.
Oh,
But like,
okay,
they're
okay,
like, hey,
okay.
we can make you a full immortal, powerful being. Loki replaced your dad.
Oh yeah, no.
But like Loki, you can't date
The
Annabeth.
gods are mean. You
Eh.
see, that's why you need like the gods are mean. Like they're nasty.
They're like, all you gotta do is just like break up with your girl. And he was like, I'm good.
no, yeah.
Like I'm not doing that.
Annabeth and Percy forever.
Persebeth, bro, lock in.
Percy Beth.
Persebeth. What the hell is
Persebeth?
the hell is Panabeth?
That sounds like a like.
Persebeth is what is all over TikTok. Lock in,
And-
bro.
Persebeth.
Yes, bro.
I feel like Panabeth. Well, nah, that sounds bad.
Where'd you getting Pan from?
That sounds like one of the.
Where are you getting
That's
Pan
like
from?
Pan. No, I didn't know.
You're saying Panabeth. Where are you getting the Pan from?
Pan. Percy. Annabeth.
Percy and Annabeth?
P. Annabeth.
Bro, you look, the stupidness is making me drop my mic.
I'm just
Stupidity.
saying. P. Annabeth. Panabeth.
Persebeth.
That sounds like a bedpan.
Panabeth sounds like a bedpan too.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Or Panabeth also sounds like it's probably the P and like.
All right. Okay. Let's go back to the topic because it's Persebeth and I don't want to hear nothing else. But I can go get the keeper right now. He's gonna say the same thing.
Persebeth.
It's Persebeth. And the keeper loves Percy Jackson. He will destroy
Yeah, I
you.
like Percy Jackson.
He will destroy you if you say anything about Persebeth. You saw the way he did to me the other day when we were all hanging out. Imagine you.
Y'all should have been there, guys.
No.
It was delicious. It was really good.
Let's do a full 180. Spin. Right? We were talking about heroes this whole time. Let's see on the other side of heroes. Villains. Okay?
Oh.
Do you think or do villains lose faith before they lose their morality? Or the other way around, obviously. Which one do you think they lose first? Their faith or their morality?
I would say for some, depending, I would say their faith because I think a lot of times our morals come from what we believe in, you know. So if what I believe in is dismantled, then my morals or my morality is gonna be dismantled as well.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Which comic book villain had the greatest chance at redemption?
Hans from Frozen. I'm joking. I like Frozen, guys. But not joking. The snow loves lying on the mountain night. Okay. I haven't seen none of the other Frozen though. Or the
It's only
Frozen
two.
2, whatever.
It's only
Whatever it is.
You talk about there's like 300 movies. Only 2 came out. Relax.
Yeah, I haven't seen Frozen 2, but anyway, that's not the focus. Is that Into the Unknown? That's Into the Unknown, right?
The second one, yeah.
Okay.
No, the first one.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I don't watch Frozen.
No. So,
He watches a lot of that type of stuff.
a lot of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Moana, I love Moana. Moana.
Are you gonna see live action?
Probably not.
I know for a fact we're not covering it.
Yeah, who would? Because it's
Moana.
ridiculous. The girl's hair in real life is curlier than her hair in the movie. This is
And the actress who plays Moana, the voice actor, looks pretty young. She could have played Moana.
Exactly. And the
But-
girl, if they wanted that girl to play Moana, fine, but at least give her the right hair texture. Like she's.
They gave The Rock the right hair texture.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Would you want him to be bald?
No, it's not that. It just, I mean, should he even have played him?
Well,
Why did Rock get to play himself twice and play himself right? Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, the biggest villain that has the chance for redemption.
Yeah, there was a long pause in between my question. Do you want to come back to that one?
I mean, maybe Harley Quinn.
Actually, no. Harley Quinn. Actually, Harley Quinn's a good answer. I was gonna say Red Hood, but
the worst.
He's the worst Robin. Oh yeah, 100%. Forever. Don't tell the keeper that. He might watch this. No, but Harley Quinn is actually a good representation of redemption because she started her story out right with obsession.
Yeah.
She was a psychiatrist who fell in love with the world's craziest man, the Joker, right? And because of that psychological trauma, it broke her, making her become Harley Quinn. Because beforehand, she was just Harleen Quinzel.
I don't know what that means.
So she became Harley Quinn, or Harlequin, which is a type of clown. I don't know if you knew that. But yeah, fun fact. And so she did that, and then when she realized the Joker was just using her for her body and much more, she almost snapped again, but snapped it back. Like those missing screws went back into place. So she was like, you know what? I don't want to be a villain. I'm still insane because you can't fix that, but I'm gonna just be an anti-hero. You know, and then she was like the birds of prey is happening, and all that stuff. You know, it's like the Margot Robbie, the Margot Robbie movies. They have that transition arc from the first Suicide Squad all the way to the last one. There's another Suicide Squad after Birds of Prey.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Lock in.
I love Margot Robbie.
I think they're replacing her for the new DCU.
I love Margot Robbie.
They're replacing her.
Didn't they use Lady Gaga to replace her? Which terrible.
No.
By the way,
that was just
terrible sandwich. By the way, if you know, you know.
I don't.
You don't know the little kid that walks out the bus and he says, "Mom, terrible sandwich." By the way,
no.
If you know, you know. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Somebody knows.
The orange drink, if you know, you know.
Cheese on a roll.
Small bag of chips.
Orange drink, if you know, you know.
Damn. Oh yeah. So what was I saying?
You were talking about a new character's gonna play, a new person's gonna play.
Oh yeah, a new person's playing Harley Quinn, but it's not Lady Gaga. That's an Elseworld story. It just me. What was that?
That's scary.
Someone just fell in my tower.
Your tower is crazy.
Yeah, this is my tower. This is the MythCast tower.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, the keeper's crypt. You know, he lives in the basement. I live on the top floor. And then everything in between is just a house. You should have known. You walked the stairs up here. Fucking.
Sorry.
My next question: is redemption something every villain deserves, or do you think some villains are unredeemable?
Most of them need to go to hell. No, I'm joking. Death to all of them.
Oh, okay.
Death to them all. Let me stop. No, I'm playing. I think that most villains can be redeemable. Like I love seeing someone who was like originally a foe become a friend. That's so deep. Because no, I'm joking. But
I feel you.
Right?
I feel that.
Look
right in here. That's
right in where?
All right.
No.
Family friendly show here, sir.
Right. But I didn't say anything not family friendly. Chill. So anyway, yo, this dude, bro. Get a load of this guy. Okay, anyways, listen to what I'm saying.
Security.
Listen
get
to what I'm
him out of
saying.
here.
What was I saying? I love seeing a foe turn into a friend. Like, you know, like for example, not to bring up Riverdale again, but Riverdale. We got Riverdale. Cheryl and she's right now in season 6. She's also she's being egregious right now. But I like when she comes in and helps because she originally started off as someone they wouldn't mess with, and she has redeemed herself little by little. When we look at, Descendants, and we have like the VKs I love Descendants. You know what I'm saying? I'm 20, pushing 20, but
no, you are.
But I love Descendants. You know, it's just we got.
I love Descendants too. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Disney movies.
Facts. One of my favorite DComs. I feel like newer DComs. You know,
it's a DCom.
Disney Channel original movie. Oh my god! You a baby?
You old?
No, because there's many other DComs that came before Descendants, but Descendants is one of my favorite series. You know.
So what the hell's going on out there?
So I feel like in that situation, the VK started off as villains and then they became redeemable, and I love those stories because I think that anybody is worth redemption. I think now people can eliminate themselves from that. You know, I think that redemption doesn't erase what someone does. I think that when we look, and we talk about faith, right? Jesus dying for our sins doesn't absolve us of responsibility for the things we do, but it took the burden of what, as in the Bible speaks about what sin could do and everything else. So it's like when we use that comparison, I think that like most villains can be redeemed. I think they can.
Okay. In modern life, right? Can superhero stories actually strengthen someone's faith?
Oh yes.
In what way?
No, I'm doing it. I think I think they can because I'm the type of person that I'm the sorry. Let me just I'm the sorry.
Sorry, guys, I had to help him out.
Sorry. I'm the type of person who I like find a message in everything. You know what I mean? I find a message in every single thing. So for me, even when I watch a movie, I'll get a message from that. You know, like boom, I got a text, Love Island style. No, I'm joking, but I get the message. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to me, superheroes I think can truly strengthen someone's faith because there are. I think that I think a lot of movies, TV shows, superheroes, comics, all that can be a parallel or a metaphor for the things we go through in our daily life.
Yeah.
And so I think that like even when we look at someone like Spider-Man, they literally merge the concept of having a normal teenager and a superhero. You know that like they put that together. So he's going through these crazy things that someone at his age should not be facing, but he's also facing normal teenage things at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like to me, I feel like superheroes and like comics and movies and all these other things, they can truly strengthen someone's faith because they can give you a message, whatever message it is that you need to learn from that, you can learn from there.
Okay. Why do fictional heroes inspire real people?
Well, because I think it gives them the idea that anything is possible. You know what I mean? Like even Miles Morales, that's also a perfect example. We see him with his family, his school, his normal life, but then also seeing him jump into this hero role is like, it can be inspiring because yes, it's fiction, but it can be related to my life. I think a lot of people, even if something is a lie, or not a lie, but false or not true, like a show, TV show, a lot of times is not based on truth, but you can find similarities. Like, not to bring up Riverdale,
Someone really likes Riverdale.
Yeah, I love Riverdale, but watching Riverdale and like I see the way certain of them maneuver, and I'm like, damn, like they have this issue, that issue, and that issue, and I've seen those things in myself, and so sometimes like it makes me think, it helps me reflect. So I think that fiction can be used to really like help us recognize certain things, you know what I mean, regardless if it's not true or not.
Okay. Have superhero stories ever taught you something about your own faith?
Oh yes, in Riverdale, not joking. Yes, for sure. I think that they definitely have, I guess, inspired me to want to do good. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, especially as a Christian, we believe in like, I don't believe that good deeds take you to heaven. You know what I mean? I don't think that, but I think that like it's important that we do good things for other people. It's important that we show up for people, and I think that like superheroes are an example of showing up. And you know what I really love? Watching Endgame and Infinity War. Both those movies, my favorite movies. I can rewatch that thousands of times. Why? Ask me why.
Why?
Because I love the scene where all the portals start opening up, and it's like a big family reunion. It just makes you feel so warm inside.
On your left.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I just feel like it's just so like so wholesome. It's so wholesome. Like Speed said, "Aw,
so cute." Okay. Do superheroes replace religion for some people, or do they simply point out timeless truths?
I would say they point out timeless truths because I haven't seen anybody as of yet that have made like superheroes a religion per se. Because I mean, I think that'd kind of be hard because it's like who would like what is, how would you even run that? You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like I haven't seen anyone make a religion out of it. I think that I will say I think that like things I start idolizing things, so I guess it's a form, but to create a whole religion on, no, I think that superheroes just point out timeless truths, in my opinion. I've never heard of the Church of Batman.
I have a feeling that we might. There's gonna be something be like, actually, the Church of Flash isn't here in Central City because they love the Flash in Central City. There is not a single person like the Flash. The Flash's biggest villain is a Flash fan. Everybody loves the Flash in the universe. If you could sit down with any superhero and ask them one question about faith, who and what would it be and why?
I'd probably have to say Nightcrawler at the end of the day because I think that
I heard he smells bad.
The way it smells bad?
Supposedly.
Oh Lord! I mean, but I'm just there to talk to him, so I'll just deal with it, I guess. But I won't say anything. No, I'm joking. But I probably want to talk to him because at least from the things I've read and stuff like that, I see like his demeanor is very opposite to how other people react to like dislike or hatred or prejudice. He doesn't hate them back. He is still compassionate and he still has like hope and he's still him. You know what I mean? So I would definitely probably talk to him. About like what his faith means to him, like how he does what he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Scarlet Witch, I love her, but I know that's not. But I want to talk to her. I want to make sure she's okay.
Okay.
I know she's going through it.
What superhero, if any, has challenged the way you think about right and wrong? If any,
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
I love doing that. I'd say. Okay, I'd say like I'm trying to think. There's one specific I'm trying to think about, cause like there be heroes that they be doing some stuff sometimes. They're heroes, but they be doing some stuff. I'm like, what was that really necessary? Like I would say. Can you repeat the question again? I want to make sure I answer correctly.
What superhero, if any, has challenged your way of thinking about right and wrong?
Well, challenge my way of thinking about right and wrong. Well, I would say Spider-Man maybe because, like, for example, in the most recent movie, like, he had to kind of choose between his girl, his life, his best friend, and doing what was best for the whole universe. So I kind of have to say that because like what would a lot of people be like? You know how people be nowadays. Follow your heart. Like imagine someone's dying and you're like follow your heart. My heart's telling me not to do anything right now, so I'm just gonna sit. It's like the whole universe about to collapse. My heart's telling me not to follow the universe. I mean, not to save the universe. Like that to me, I think it was a good moment of right and wrong. I think on the other hand, like there's other celebrities that do wrong. Celebrities, superheroes that do wrong and label it as right.
Okay. Now we want to hear from you. Who's a hero that has inspired your life and why? Let us know in the comments because your story might be featured in a future episode of the Myth Table. And that is it for today, guys.
Already?
Yeah. It's been very nice to have you on the show. I hope to have you back one day.
Would love to.
I know this is your second time. You can just keep coming back.
Yeah.
He actually texted me saying he wanted to be on the show, guys.
All right. I don't remember going like that, but okay.
We love you guys so much, and we'll see you Friday for the MythCast. Just to clarify a few things before we go. The Myth Table is not going to be every Wednesday or every month of Wednesday. It's just every month.
He doesn't want to see me that often.
It's going to be whenever though it feels right to have a deep down conversation with somebody. And hey, maybe it'd be Elijah every time. Maybe it'll be somebody else. But the point is to have different people, and if you have any people you want, please don't say it because I won't be able to contact them. I don't have connections like that. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Goodbye.